How to make money crowdfunding real estate. This is one of the newest and best ways to invest in real estate. Crowdfunding will allow you to get more properties with way less money, and it's a lot easier than you think. But it's super new. A lot of people don't know what they're doing. There's a lot of bad information out there, and I want to set the record straight and tell you the truth because this is definitely something you can do. Let's go. So first of all, crowdfunding is the newest, oldest way to do real estate. Crowdfunding has existed for quite some time, okay? I know people that have told me, their grandparents were crowdfunding essentially, because the old way to crowdfund was to find a group of people, usually your friends, your family, your coworkers. And again, I crowdfunded before it was a thing too, when I would get a few people together and we would fix and flip a house, okay? So that is one way to crowdfund and find the money that you need, either for the down payment for the house or for the repairs to fix a house, or even to start buying rental properties and then splitting the profits. But now we have an even better way to do it, okay? Because the problem before is if you crowdfunded with friends, there were no guarantees on if they paid you. If you gave your money to someone, you never knew. Could you imagine just giving someone a check for $10,000 and then they never really bought the house, or they never really bought the properties, or they never shared the profits with you? Yeah, that was the risk, the way that we used to do it. And so unfortunately, it was kind of hard to crowdfund before because you had to find people that you could trust. You had to find people with money, and they had to trust you as well. You had to trust that they had the money and they were doing the right things. They had to trust that you were able to do the work on the property and all this other stuff. So it was so much trust that was required that it was really hard to find all the people needed. And there were very few people that could really pull it off successfully. But we are in a whole new time. We have something now called crowdfunding. There's lots of websites. The one that I really prefer, again, not being sponsored, nothing like that, is TrueCrowd. And this has allowed you to, regular people to get vetted through the Securities and Exchange Commission so that you know that the person in the company that you are dealing with is legitimate, that they've had the proper background checks, that they're going to do the proper things with the money, that they're properly qualified to take your money and do real estate with it. To get a crowdfund, they have to make sure that you, me, in my case with New Res, that I am qualified to even do this. And so they do all those checks. And again, it doesn't take very long. If you have a criminal background or anything like that, it's probably not gonna work for you. You can probably just shut this video off now. You're not gonna be getting your own crowdfund if you're like a felon. But if you're not, it is super easy, okay? It's not really that hard. It's just a lot of steps. And I'm gonna tell you what those steps are, but super easy and not very expensive to do. And this will allow you to be credible to people that you're asking for money from. When you get your own crowdfund, or if you invest in a crowdfund, you know that that person is who they say they are, and they're gonna do what they say they're going to do. Otherwise, there's this regulatory body, the SEC, the Security and Exchange Commission, that can come in and handle that for you. This is why it's awesome if you want to invest in a crowdfund or if you want your own crowdfund. So that's just the basics on how it works, and you can be an unaccredited investor, put a little bit of money in, get lots of people to do this, and get lots of properties really quickly. So let's get to the next part. So this first step, like I said, again, you can go to TrueCrowd, you can go to newres.com, you can take a look at our crowdfund, our company, what we're doing, and you can start to emulate some of those things or invest in it and see how it works exactly, okay? You can take as little as $500, invest, and start getting some checks and see what happens. I have people that have invested hundreds of thousands or, tens of thousands. And I have people that just do a small amount. It's okay either way, whatever you have, so you can start getting into real estate. And this is the opportunity that you have in front of you, okay? So the second part, once you have it all established, you've been through the SEC, your company and the memorandum and everything is all on the website so people can see exactly what it is that you're going to do with the money, what types of properties you're going to buy, what your expected return on investment is, where you came up with your plan. You put all of that there. And again, you can go and look at ours directly so you can see all of it. It tells you every single thing that you need to know. And the great thing about it is you do it, get the money, it comes directly to you in just a few weeks, and you start getting properties. So we set this up and then we started getting properties, okay? And our plan with what we're doing with our fund is we do short-term rentals. So we get properties, we furnish them, we put everything that's in them, you know, the properties that we have that you guys are seeing that I make videos. I was just able to scale this business on a whole nother level and share my profits with my investors, okay? Just regular Joe Schmoes like I was, learning this business, getting into it and start getting checks. So we started getting properties and that is the next step. And you wanna make sure that you're getting properties that are profitable and in the business's name. That's step 2. Once you get the properties, then you're going to make profits. There has to be profits. Otherwise, you know, your investors are going to be very upset. Using our company as an example, we get properties, we take the money that our investors give us to, one, acquire the properties, and we basically rent most of them. Some of them we do buy, and we have a few apartment complexes that we're getting, and we make a portion of those short-term rentals. We put them on sites like Airbnb, HomeAway, vacation rental by owner, etc., and we rent those properties out for about, on average, $100 to $300 per night, depending on how many rooms. So on average, with one property, we're making $1,000 to $1,500 per month on a low end. We have some properties that we make well over $2,000 or $3,000 per month on. Because what we do is so profitable, we split 60% of our profits directly with our investors, okay? Non-management investors get 60% of the profits. And that is the next step. You want to make sure that what you're doing with the profits, whether it's putting long-term tenants in there, short-term tenants, whether you're going to fix and flip properties, whether you're going to crowdfund and do some wholesaling with some of the leads that you get. If you want to buy shopping malls or shopping centers, again, you don't have to do residential real estate. I like residential real estate because we've looked at some of the numbers. As you already know, I have 2 master's degrees. I have a master's degree in economic development from Penn State, and I have my MBA from Baylor University. I am all about making the biggest profits, okay, possible using, you know, my real world experience and using my education. So for me, it was all about the profits and making sure that I split my profits with my investors. And that is the key. You must make profits so that you have profits to split. The next thing with a crowd fund, okay? So now that you're making profits, now you have to split the profits. So with a crowd fund and making the money with the crowd fund, if you are the person managing the crowd fund, you can pay yourself a salary, okay? And what we do is our company, because it's a whole team of people that I have, I just take a small fee for us setting up the properties. We have to furnish the properties. We have to set them all up. You guys can look around. They need couches. They need dishes. They need towels. They need everything. And so I have a team of people that set the properties up. So we take a small fee for each unit that we set up. And that's one of the ways that we get paid from the crowd fund. The second thing is, I just told you, we split the profits 60-40. 60% to the investors, 40% what we keep. Now again, that is unheard of in this industry, to give 60% of the profits to an investor. But it's my crowd fund. I can do whatever I want, and I already had lots of money. Not saying it in a braggy way, but I do very, very well with my own real estate investings, with the mentorship, with the other businesses, with the books, with the TV show, with the podcast. Like, Noelle has plenty of money. So when I made my crowd fund, I wanted to make sure that you guys, my investors, the little guys, got most of the money. But again, 40% is still really good, guys, okay? I'm able to pay my whole team and take a sizable profit for myself because I created a model where what we do is so profitable that even 40% and giving investors 60% is still a really, really good stream of revenue for us. Again, split the profits with your investors is the next step. How you split them is completely up to you. We decided to give more money to our investors than we kept for ourselves. And then the final step with making money with a crowd fund is to continue raising money. So throughout the whole process, we're always raising money. I encourage you watching this video, if you have never invested in a crowd fund, this could be your first opportunity. Look through what we have. This is an amazing opportunity on everybody's end, okay? This will teach you, one, how to start getting money, because I'm gonna split the profits. It's all governed through the Securities and Exchange Commission. It's all legitimate. But two, you're gonna get another way, not just the profit distributions, We also pay our investors for bringing us properties, okay? So if you have properties as an investor that you do not even have to own them, you can refer properties to us. I literally have had investors already get $2,000-$4,000 checks already just from providing us properties, okay? Because we wanted to make another stream of revenue for everyone. And then last but not least, if you find other investors for our fund, which is blowing up like crazy, by the way, so we don't really need that many investors, but we continue raising money and we incentivize all of our investors, and we pay a small fee just for our investors to tell other investors or other people that they know, co-workers, friends, family, whatever, so that they can get involved too and start making money, because this is really what's going to change our community, change our personal wealth, and change the world. We have to start focusing on making more money and changing our lives and telling other people what we know. We cannot get rich and then not share the secrets with other people. That's why I do this. That's why I'm making this video. And that's why I made the company for New Res and made it a crowdfund where anyone could get involved for just a little bit of money and start finding out how all of this works, because it is amazing and most people have no idea about it, so they never get any money. So that is the next step. Again, keep raising money and continue to tell people about your crowdfund or even about our crowdfund and start making money that way. Either way, money to be made. Okay, so hopefully you got all of the information. I am here making videos for you every single weekday. Please take a moment to like this video. Please subscribe to my channel. Make sure you click that little notification bell so you do not miss any of this content, any of this free information that I'm here giving you. I want to make sure you have everything that you need to be successful. This is Noelle, to your success.